It's Wednesday, February 25th, 2026. So I remember a work trip I was on about 5 years ago down in Texas. We were in town to meet with the VA business community, and I'd gotten pulled in at the last minute because one of the folks on my company side knew that I knew what I was talking about generally, and they were kind of light on people that fit that description. The meeting ultimately went well. I mean, it was a couple of days, I think 3 or 4 days worth of meetings, and really in-depth sessions that were memorably really good to participate in person. People were really engaged, especially from the government side of things, with a big focus on something that I just happen to know a lot about: business processes and financial interfaces in an integrated healthcare setting. I unexpectedly did an outsized part of the talking. I wasn't really part of that project team. It wasn't something I had tried to guide my career towards. But the team was relatively new and I was experienced. So I knew the answers to most of the detailed questions that the VA government professionals who had worked really in the trenches, and I say trenches, but the trenches these days are interfaces. Um, Looking back at it, it's a really good thing I was there. I ended up being more involved with that project as time went on in like a true sense of the word consulting. Years prior, our company had changed all of our titles from like solution architect to some variety of consultant. And I was a bit peeved because I always considered myself more of a solution architect, and consultant's a kind of a generalized title. Um, there was really only one other person from our side of the house who was there, able to answer a lot of the questions. Unfortunately, he was sick for the first day of meetings, and I think maybe even the second, able to be at the third, but holding it down. Financial interface architect who I had worked with in the past, who really knew his stuff. It was somebody I enjoyed working with. So anyway, I ended up getting barbecue and a couple of beers with him later. And I still remember something that he said to me when we were doing that. He said, "Man, people I've worked with tend to either love you or hate you," which I was a little caught off guard by. But he backed up that he was on the love side because, frankly, we had worked together on several other projects in the past. And above all else, I'm always kind of business oriented with a get the job done attitude. And I have enough smarts to get the job done every time. I can see how some people I've worked with in the past didn't like me, though. I think a lot of that boils down to disagreement. Many people seem to view disagreement as contempt. And generally, for me, that could not be farther from the truth. Adam Savage has a YouTube series called Tested that basically plays out like a vlog similar to the format I do these videos in. He often reflects on past projects from his very interesting career as a freelance video effects producer, in addition to his founding role on Mythbusters. So in these videos, Adam reflects on both professional and personal experiences in about equal measure. And one experience that he described stood out to me were his reflections on disagreement. He defends disagreement on principle with the quote, "When I disagree with you, I'm investing in my relationship with you." And I think I relate to that and to Adam in the sense that he's also a skeptic who is fearless when it comes to interpersonal conflict. And I think that quote does an excellent job of describing the way I feel about it as well. I really also value disagreement, and I think that's likely to be related to that alleged love-hate reaction that some people in the workplace had for me. Respectful conflict in a safe space within any organization makes it stronger. I have always prioritized certain workplace mantras in my time working in a corporate environment, and chief among those is criticize ideas, not people. I also if you're in a meeting, you should be actively participating in it, and make sure work is worth doing, not just getting paid for. Those were also mantras not held by everybody I worked with. I also value humor. I don't just value reflection and conflict. So I do specifically remember my reaction to Joe telling me that some people just do not like me. And I said, "Joe, nobody who matters hates me."